Yeah, people just leave like old jackets. Like my wife goes thrifting and she always was like, "Oh, I never find anything good. Like all my friends find all this like cool shit like thrifting and I got to spend like top dollar for all that stuff." And then she just went to like Goodwill the other day and just found the nicest shit ever.
Yeah, the
Like the
Portland
nice yeah.
the Portland scene's all crazy. No, it's bad. It's you go into like a thrift shop up here and it'll be like this vintage sweatshirt from like the 80s, so not even vintage, for like it'll have a stain on it and it'll be like $76 or something like that.
Mhm.
It's crazy. I'm like, how do you
Yeah.
get away with this shit? And people, I guess people buy it, but it'll
Well,
literally be stained, it'll be like,
well, it's Portland
yeah,
though. Like I feel like having a stain on something nice is like it's because we're in
badge
Portland
of
and
honor.
we're weird.
Yeah, it's a pulled pork sandwich vibe,
Very
messy
pulled,
from the
literally pulled pork sandwich stain, probably.
yeah,
And
yes, full circle.
bet you didn't think a woman would wear a stained shirt from her pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah, from the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane, bout to visit Glen Rock. Need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
But yeah, I was laughing. I was one of my coworkers. It's this like black dude that like I think he thinks he's like hard as fuck. Like he thinks that I think he's like hard as fuck because he's black.
Yeah,
But he doesn't realize that I know other black people besides him. Not to brag, but I do know other black people besides him. But it's funny how like that's racist.
he thinks he's your first, dude.
But it's funny how like sometimes they lean into that. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they're like, "Oh, you probably just think I'm just like all the other black guys." But then some guys are like, "Hey, I bet you think that like I'm like the other black guys because I am." And it's like, it's funny. It's like this. But he was listening. He had his AirPods in. We were like waiting, before work starts and everything. He had his AirPods in, and I looked down. I just want to say, like, what are you listening to? Dude? I looked down. And he's listening to Marvin's Room by Drake, and I was like, man, that Drake is like because I get it. I there's a few Drake songs where I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, sure. Like there's a few of them. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And then there's like some where I'm like, oh, this is so soft. But like certain guy, like black dude, white guys love it too. Asians, Filipino. I mean, it's universally big. He's a huge artist. But like, I think it serves kind of like how Garden State and like 500 Days of Summer did for white people. I think it does that for black people. Like the soft Drake songs, like it really hits them hard.
Well,
like
I think that
those,
there's just such a vacuum for good. Someone that loves old soul music and stuff. It's just someone will make a marginally soulful song, and people just be like, "Whoa, dude!" It'll just be blown away. Not trying to be like, "Oh, I listen to cooler shit than you" or whatever. But
we do.
We do, and I just noticed that people like the fact that they're just starving for cool shit, and Drake's. I just can't imagine like putting that album on.
That's what I'm saying. Like you hear it all the time tangentially, and like it's fired like in a store all the time. Brunch, there's like a Drake song playing. Like there's always like those really loud places you're at where it's just boom, boom, like it's like fuck. Like the people spending money here are not trying to hear loud like subwoofer music at brunch,
Nah.
And
but Marvin's, it's named obviously Marvin Gaye. I remember hearing. So I think I read it in just some interview. Read it. Yeah. Where he was just like, "Oh yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Here My Dear and I Want You, like those albums." He's like Marvin, man, it's just really my dude, and like those are two of my favorite albums of all time. Incredible albums, and people that listen to Marvin Gaye don't know those albums a lot of time. I'm like,
I mean, yeah, but look at his uncle. I mean, he comes from like music royalty.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget that.
Larry Graham, is that
Larry Graham, the Graham Station? Yeah. Sly and the Family Stone, right?
Yeah, no, his uncle. I don't think it's not his dad, but it's his uncle, and yeah, he comes from. I mean, I don't doubt that he's a student of the game. I don't doubt that he's talented. I'm not one of those people that, like, there was a big anti-auto-tune thing of the 2010s by cool guys, rap cool guys.
Hate it.
And I was like, I was never fully there, even though I understood their gripe. It was like, well, everyone's just going to do it. And it did. All music is rap now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
All music. Country has 808s.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's crazy. You called that
French
earlier,
fries, but those like TikTok country rap songs that people dance to. Like, it's on College Game Day every weekend. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Talking cold beer Friday night, boom, 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 boom. You're like, what the hell? Like, it's crazy. But it's all rap now.
Yeah.
So it is like, even so, if Drake makes a soft ass song, it's got to be like rap. It's got to like, I kind of liked more when rap was this kind of taboo. Not taboo, but it was noticeably sonically different and intimidating. Whereas like the average, even like Taylor Swift, any of these like massive songs that would never ever be seen as rap, they have a low end to them sonically. I hate saying sonically, but I don't know how else to say it. It makes you sound like you're more allowed to talk about music. I hate that term, but but it like it'll hit hard to where it's like, then I'll hear rap, and then like rap lost the drums. A lot of rap, like underground rap, or like kind of like hip hop, they are like, now they barely have drums. Like, you know, this whole like Alchemist thing, which I loved when he did it because he's a student, but like everybody now is like, what if I just played a sample with no drums? And then some guy rapped about like watching the movie Casino over it, you know, like, or pretended that he was an action star in a movie in the 80s.
Just so boring. I never want to listen to the songs more than once, you know, like
not a whole album either.
Nah.
And
everyone's trying to do the Dilla thing, of course, you know, where that like middle era tape thing where you just played the sample and everything. But there's a difference between him doing like some guy that mastered drums and then going, hey, I'm going to chill off drums for a minute, versus a guy that doesn't know how to use them, you know. And it's like free jazz, when a guy tries to make a free jazz album, but he just can't play actual music, you know. And it's like it never sounds the same as someone that goes from the reverse, you know. That's but I was gonna say the auto-tune thing, I remember that. I hated that because I remember it's like, wait, I have to not like T-Pain to be part of this group. Like that's already not for me. Like I've never. I remember I remember even mainstream, there was like an anti T-Pain thing, like for a couple of years there. I was like, dude, he's never gotten old to me. I've always been like, it's fucking cool. And he's just a cool dude, you know. He's like, it's always been cool, man.
We're going to get you right back to the episode, but I just wanted to let you guys know of a few other things we offer at Rare Candy Industries. We have a Substack with free and paid subscription options. Free subscribers get access to all written content. That includes Bob's Red Pill. That's the best thing going on the internet right now. Trust me. Paid subscribers get full access to our premium episode feed. And that's just every episode we don't necessarily want to share with the general public, if you know what I'm saying. Again, that's rarecandy.substack.com. We also have merch. That link's a little long for me to say right now, but go to the description, go to our merch store, and find a shirt that's right for you. We have Rare Candy shirts, Dr. Bronner soap label shirts, Rishi mushroom shirts, all types of stuff there. Check it out. There's got to be something for you. And lastly, check us out on social media. On Instagram, we're Rare Candy Pod, but on Twitter, we're at Rare Candy Pod 1. All right, enough of that. Let's get you back into the episode. And I was just trying to think of the last time, not the greatest thing I've heard over the last 10 to 15 years, but like, what was the last thing that shocked me to where I wanted to watch it 10 times in a row, listen to it 10 times in a row, and just was like, the world stopped. Everybody, hey, look at this, dude. Have you seen this shit? This shit's crazy.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Oh, no, I thought you were speaking generally. Remember when?
No, I am, but I do.
The mailbag question, what's the best music from 2010 is your favorite? And I was like struggling to come up with an answer. I'm like, I don't know.
I was thinking, and this isn't my favorite, but when it came out, I was like, oh my God, like this feels like something that's an amalgamation of past eras, but is tailored for our era, like, and is like our sound with our energy, our, you know, tailored references and things like that. And I was like, wow, this is cool. This is like something you could show to like your kids or whatever and be like, this was during my era. And it was Tyler, the Creator, when he first came out. And like, it was, so I was working at college radio and we used to get submissions a lot. And I know Tyler had a song before Yonkers. Like, he had songs, the Odd Future had like mixtapes and stuff before that, but Yonkers, because of it was a song and video package. Like you didn't just listen to the song and you didn't obviously just watch the video. It was this video coming on, and if anyone hasn't seen the video, it's just kind of like a one-shot video of like him basically eating a cockroach on a stool, rapping like he's doing like fucking like Dave Chappelle old man stand-up kind of shit, and then he hangs himself at the end of the video. And it's like that in alone is not crazy, but the lyrics, the ominous, menacing drum, kind of shitty beat, but also amazing at the same time. And I remember my friend, we didn't get this submitted to us or anything at the studio. We used to get some pretty crazy submissions from people that are famous now and stuff, like Jack Harlow and people like that. But when my friend showed this to me, it was like we had this lounge. You went there, right? You had gone to that. Yeah. Remember we had that little lounge in there, and everybody would have like music playing, and we would just be like, this is fucking crazy. Because a lot of people would be like, this is a game changer, and you're like, that's just a good rap song. Well, we're gonna forget about that in a month. This was like crazy, and I was like, oh my god, these are like Black Jackass fans. Like, this is so sick. Like, and I'm not saying that it's like it's crazy that these are a bunch of like kind of skater black kids that were like very musically talented and were trying to shock you, and they were taking that like shock value of like late 90s Eminem, Marilyn Manson kind of stuff, and just trying to piss people off, but also sounding pretty cool. And then adding kind of like a Vine element to it. That was when Vine was really big, adding like the prank Vine. They were funny, they were smart, they were like music nerds, they loved rap, like they were big into like MF Doom and stuff like that. But I just remember being like shocked, like just, oh my god, this is crazy. And then sadly, I know this is gonna piss off some of our audience, because some of our audience are very like Adult Swim rap people. The Adult Swim thing got really Reddit after a while. It did. The Adult Swim rap thing. But like Tyler could only go the path of actually I'm gay, because I don't even think he's actually gay. That's the thing. Remember he said he's like I'm bisexual or whatever.
He's like Bowie. But he's Bowie.
No, but that was it wasn't even like, because when Bowie did it, it was just like again trying to piss you off.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get pissed off by bisexual black guys in 2015? Like other than their straight wives or something. Like for the most part, he was doing it, in my opinion, because he was starting to get popular and he was trying to be a serious musician. But then people were like, "Oh, you heard that song? I'll crash the airplane that faggot Bob was in, B.O.B., the airplane song, and stab Bruno Mars in his esophagus, or like get a bitch to stab her clit with glass." Like all these like, raping. He had one song called "She," which I thought was a masterpiece with Frank Ocean. It was about stalking a woman. Literally stalking a woman and like just jerking off outside her window, and it was great. And that was when Frank Ocean just couldn't miss, when he was like just kind of a hook singer. And I just remember thinking, there's only one way to go, and it's like non-binary NPR Tiny Desk. There's only one way to go after that. Now
I knew once I saw the clothing, and I was like, this is gonna be like Reddit
ice cream cone shirt, ice cream cone shirt.
Dude, we need a shirt referencing the ice cream cone shirt on our shit, on our fucking whatever it's called.
But people loved that album that he came out with, the one that was nominated for Grammys. And I listened to it once and I'm like, look, you're a talented guy. It's nice to see you spread your wings, but I kind of just liked when you were just trying to piss me off.
Yeah. You remember the early stuff reminded me of like NWA.
Totally.
Yeah.
Skater NWA, like for skater kids. That's what it was. Totally that. It was Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, Jackass rap. And it was so sick. Like I thought it was, I didn't even listen to it super regularly, but whenever it would come on, I would get that like, wow, we're witnessing something kind of cool right now, and like Earl, he's good, but that a little goes a long way. I think I can only do monotone stuff for so long, like the monotone, but he can rap. I liked him. The guy Haji Beats was sick.
Oh, I remember him.
He was tight. He had a song called "Lately" that I loved. I would actually listen to that. It was just a good. He was kind of more of a Outcasty style Odd Future guy, like kind of more zany but fun. Yeah.
Remember Brockhampton got rid of their best member when they were like at the peak of their shit? You remember that, dude?
Oh, they're the gay guys, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you create a rap group off of a internet forum. Literally Reddit, dude.
Also, I just remember hearing the lyrics. I remember like somebody was like, bro, like this is like gay guy rap. This shit's hella hard. And I was like, is it? And then they like put it on and like the beat's all right. Like, beats hit. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And then he's just like, and then we held hands and I sucked your dick. And so I was all right. Yeah. Like, I don't like, I'm just like, look,
drink it up.
Do gay guys even listen to this? Like gay guys listen to like pop and stuff. Like, I don't think they're listening to like rabid dick sucking rap. Like,
some are, dude. Like,
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I just like a gay Filipino guy at Phil's Coffee maybe or something. I don't know. Like,
there's like 10 of those guys.
No, they all have the Marvin Gaye beanie and the septum ring. They all have that. Like, it's just whatever. Longboard.
I don't think I hate the Marvin Gaye beanie as much as you do. I don't
hate it. I just know exactly what the guy is when I see it. I'm a beanie guy.
Yeah, you are.
I am a beanie guy. Absolutely beanie Seagull. I wear them. I'm just saying, like, we all know. To me, it's the Filipino guys that wear it. Like, when you see if you don't grow up around Filipino guys, you don't get it. Yeah, it's just every time, and then they have this like really smug rap knowledge that always ends with like people under the stairs, and you're just like, all right, sick, dude. Yeah, cool. Like, do you listen to anything fun? And then. So those guys are different. That might be a strictly niche Bay Area thing, but
people under the stairs, man. I remember someone asked about them in one of our Q&As a long time ago, and I remember
I bet that guy was Filipino.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I remember I could never get down with them too much. Oh, my cat's chasing a beetle or observing one. That's really cute. But I remember it was at the peak of when I was collecting records and we were trading samples back and forth coast to coast.
Yeah, sure.
And I would go I went to this frat party and this guy's like, yeah, listen to this people under the stairs. And, I'm snobby and I didn't say anything, of course, but I was like, gave it a shot. But I was like, oh, I know what they're doing, but I'm listening to this shit 10 times cooler. I'm like, I'm cutting up these records, I'm listening to these roots of this stuff. So I remember just when you're at your peak snobbiness, in music, and you're like, that's when people show you stuff that's clearly just not as lit as that, it kind of cements, it vaccinates you into that. It's like a long COVID or like a long vax. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking rambling. But so I could never fully get down with them just because I was just like, nope. Yeah, right when I saw it.
Yeah, and with music, I think it's funny whenever you come out pissing somebody off, you eventually forget who to piss off after a while. Like as you get older, like you forget who's in power, or you deliberately decide somebody else is in power. And case in point is Tom Morello. Now you could argue Rage Against the Machine was always libtarded a little bit. They were always leftists and stuff, but there was a time where it was like, okay,
did someone sterilize that guy? Did he get like
he went to Harvard. He literally is Obama if Obama played guitar instead of whatever he does. Literally, that's exactly what he talks the same, very racially ambiguous looking.
He's like Josh Dobbs, dude.
or Mike Tirico, the guy that announces for Sunday Night Football. That guy's just 100% Italian.
That's dude.
I thought he was a black dude for like the longest time.
Me too. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like Chris Collins. Chris Collinsworth still doesn't know. Probably he's like, I thought you were a black guy, Mike. Jeez.
That's where Chris Collinsworth got his N-word pass from. Is that dude?
Collinsworth can say it. Nobody cares if Collinsworth says it.
Dude, ex-wide receiver for the Bengals, right? That's tight.
Yeah, exactly. So here's Tom Morello. He got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and if you want to hear the fucking worst speech ever, here you go.
But what can I do? Well, let's start with these three things. 1, dream big and don't settle. 2, aim for the world you really want without compromise or apology. And 3, don't wait for us. Rage is not here, but you are. The job we set out to do is not over. Now you're the ones that must testify. If you've got a boss, join a union. If you're a student, start an underground paper. If you're an anarchist, throw a brick. If you're a soldier or a cop, follow your conscience, not your orders. If you're bummed out you didn't get to see Rage Against the Machine, then form your own band and let's hear what you have to say. If you're a human being, stand up for your planet before it's too late. So tomorrow, So tomorrow, crank up some rage and head out and confront injustice wherever it rears its ugly head. It's time to change the world, brothers and sisters, or at a bare minimum, to stir up a shitload of trouble.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, why does he look like Sam Tripoli in that speech? No disrespect to the GOAT, Sam Tripoli, dude. I don't even want to compare. He looks like fucking.
If I was Sam, I would change my wardrobe. If I was Sam, I would change my wardrobe personally.
No. And dude,
baseball hat and blazer is like libtard extraordinaire. Like, dude, baseball hat, it's kind of like a suit with like Jordans and stuff. You're like, come on, like just stop combining casual and formal wear. Like with god, I'm not even a men's fashion guy. I can tell when it jumps off the screen is bad. You know, like it's.
I heard something about that speech. That's like their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction speech, right?
I believe so.
But apparently he's the only member of Rage that showed up. They're just like, nah, fuck this, dude.
Yeah. I guess some institutions are good, but the I guess that's not. Well, here's my thing. Yeah. He added the climate change element to it. The stand up for your planet before it's too late.
Crichton, but once you've read that,
yeah, he could be. What I'm saying though is, if you're trying to make a change and you're a very naive leftist, as people were, and myself included, naive leftist, you say you decide you're going to burn down Target. You're like, I'm going to burn down Target. Just decide. You wake up in the morning, you're like, I saw a huge, unarmed person, a 10-second video of an unarmed person getting killed by police. Therefore, I am going to go burn down Target. Right? Let's say you're going to do that. What effect does that have on the planet? Like the emissions,
it's definitely releasing.
Like, what do you weigh? Like, you really have to weigh it down? You got to run that by your comrades.
Yeah, it's definitely like that's like the leftist version of Bill Gates flying to Sweden to go to climate conferences. There, where you're like, oh, that guy. Did you know he burned down a Target? That's like very luxurious protesting right there. That's the ultimate peak of luxurious peak of protesting. You're literally just releasing. Yeah, that's how I would say it. Is it's like flying to Zurich or something.
I know, and it's just, first off, like, Tom Morello, you are a millionaire, I would assume, multi-millionaire in probably mid 40s, if not 50 years old by now. Like, I wouldn't be telling kids to just like get mad at the world. Like, it's like, you're clearly succeeding in the world. Like, and I don't think it's genuine. Like, I don't think this dude genuinely wants like anarchy and chaos. Like, I think he just wants more Democrats. He just wants, which half the people throwing the bricks do too. But I just mean, in a sense, like, he's always going to say, just go vote blue. Like, at the end of the day, but like, you're supposed to go to the voting booth with the mentality that you're throwing a brick through a window.
Well, Morello's, it's just almost the poster child, the guy that embodies everything that we make fun of. The whole, just be super fake, rebellious and revolutionary. But at the end of the day, go get your MBA, go get your PhD
mRNA.
from Harvard. Yeah, go get your mRNA, 5th dose, and and vote blue no matter who, dude. It's just, at the end, he's almost like a touchstone or like a milestone in what we would consider, if you're just picking guys and picking archetypes, he's an archetype. He's almost like, oh yeah, that's a Tom Morello right there. And again, even the outfit, the blazer and the fucking,
I know.
And it wouldn't, who gives a fuck what people wear? But like, he wouldn't, if it didn't just keep happening, if these things didn't just keep being observable, then we wouldn't have to make these observations, right? I just think that's, I don't know.
Yeah, and just at the end of the day, like, I still remember, I forget what guy said it to like Noam Chomsky when they were debating, but I forget who it was. I don't think it was even like a right-wing guy. I think it was like somebody from his own side was just like, dude, are you like an 80-year-old anarchist?
Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude.
It just feels weird that like you probably have to watch your cholesterol levels at that point, but you're like into anarchism and stuff.
What's funny about the anarchy thing is they do that, yes, but or it's not happening, but if it were, where if someone says like, oh, that's anarchy, that's just chaos, and then the Reddit is like, actually anarchy doesn't mean chaos. It just means we question power structures that are above us, that are improperly earned. You know, that's like the definite. It's not throwing bricks through windows. It's just questioning power structure, blah, blah, blah. But then they're also down for throwing bricks through windows too, you know, where it's all, and also never question like Pfizer or anything like that, you know, never
No,
question
that's a good
certain
institution.
power structures. Yeah. So it's just,
that's a good
I hate
one.
when they do that. It's like actually the real, and I used to be,
That's
that
what I
guy
thought it
for like 6
was.
months.
I thought we were questioning things like that. And I thought
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Like, I get that totally. Cause I remember
skin of the game hits, no one actually does it, you know?
No, and that's the thing. Like, that was the biggest issue from all sides, but especially the left. Like, from all sides, when I just was like, okay, like they're gonna roll out a vaccine. They're gonna we're on YouTube. I have to chill out. They're gonna roll out a shot, or whatever. And we all knew that was going to happen even before we were super into this, like, you know, red pill, wherever we were now. We knew at the beginning of what we were doing. And it's funny. People go back and listen. You can go back and listen from the beginning. I'm not deleting any of that stuff. It's fun.
That topic came up in our Discord recently.
I know. And it's funny. Like there's probably some things I'd roll my eyes at, but I also have fond memories of just, that was me and you talking to nobody, recording like 3 times a week just to practice, and just like trading crypto and all that stuff,
and then the lockdowns hit, and then
the lockdowns hit. Yeah, all that stuff happened, and then, but I remember thinking like, okay, like that's cool. Like these people are challenging power, which is the enticing part about it. You go to college, you're away from your parents. That's not what I did, but like you go to college, you're away from parents, and then you're taught that like all power is bad and all our power structures are bad, except this one, the ones that are actually doing horrible things. You're taught that. But like, I just remember thinking like from all sides where it was like, okay, like the most draconian thing of our lifetime is happening, like worldwide. And everybody's politics are now just in theory, I believe this.
Yeah.
But what is the point of having big brain politics? And I think these people intentionally have big brain politics so they can have something so utopian to the point that it's never going to be, you know, something you can implement or actually do. Then they just revert back to just libtardation like that. I think that is, it's so intense. It's like when you're like a lazy person, which I can be from time to time, like a lazy person. You're like, I'm going to do this today, this today, this today, this today, this today, this today, this day, and I'm going to do this today. But then you realize you're already running late for like the first thing, and you just kind of punt the whole day away. Right. Yeah. And then make the whole day a loss, punting on first down. Right. Because you didn't just take it one step at a time. That's what these people do with their politics, where I do genuinely believe that some of these people are like, I'm going to change this. I'm going to do this, whether I agree with what they're doing or not. They kind of eventually just get a little comfortable in where they're at. They realize that although there might be some people that disagree with them in the world that are still in power, that's enough to fuel the anger that they still have to keep these politics. But at the end of the day, dude, they're just going to be comfy as hell doing just like, again, you're supposed to view voting now, or even like any of that stuff, as though you're doing anarchism, like, in a sense.
It's ironic. It's peak irony, I guess you could say, and not like I care what anyone thinks, but you could say we passed the test. You know, we noticed what was going on when it was happening, you know, and not a moment too late. You know, we could, you know, if it would have gone on any longer, we would have been sucked into that vortex, right, and stuck there forever, which it seems like people are. Like, they're, when you see someone, they're just, you can't pull some people out of that, you know. And yeah, it's just crazy how what these treats. It's funny because like my brother was texting me about Soros. You know, I was telling you, you know, and I'm and he, you know, he's older than me, and he's love him to death. He's pretty based on a lot of stuff, you know, but he's just kind of like, whoa, because he heard the Rogan with Elon, I guess, and Elon was talking shit on Soros, and he's like, yo, have you heard about all this Soros stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard about it. You know, it's definitely, it's weird when people that you just hear this stuff in the wild, right? And it's just, it's kind of, he's like, man, he's really socially engineering and stuff. And I told him, I was like, yeah, people think you're MAGA for saying that, you know, or they just think you're lost cause, you're QAnon. And I'm just like, you know, he laughed at that, I think. But yeah, it was interesting. It was just, I love these moments when things, usually it's like a 3-year cycle, I find, when you hear about something, integrate it, and then boom, like someone else from a source you wouldn't expect kind of is just like, boop, puts it into your reality. And it's a little humorous, you know.
And people will raise these concerns. This happens a lot in California, which is pretty much all Democrat in the cities, right? The cities. I know there's
100%.
Central California, there's the neighboring outside that can be pretty red, but for the most part, the stuff that moves the needle in California, quite literally moves the needles that are all over the street in California, is the Democrat Party. But like, it's weird because like you talk about Gavin Newsom. I was just thinking about the other day. I have not heard one person in real life ever say like, damn, Gavin Newsom said something hella crazy and sick today, like something hella tight. But they will never, ever want him out. Like Democrat, even for like another Democrat, they're just like, no, he's perfect. Like, and it's so weird because he's
they hate that recall shit, the recall election. That's
they hated that with Larry Elder. That was so funny.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I was thinking like
Larry
Ray
Elder.
Davis. Yeah, he's funny, man. Yeah,
that's the thing is like it comes up and they just think like Gavin Newsom will be replaced by like Hitler every single time. Like they think like that's who will run against him. And I'm always just like, what do you guys like about Gavin Newsom? And they're just like, well, he's like he's just stable, just stable presence and good speaker and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so it's not about anything. It's not about what he does, because this state has objectively gone to shit financially. It's still beautiful outside. It's the only reason that anybody ever comes here is because of the tech work and because of how nice it looks outside. Thank God. But there's certain parts of it that are straight up tent cities with heroin needles everywhere and just homeless people shitting in the streets. That is true. It's also overblown, but that it does exist. There are certain sectors of it that are absolutely like that. But my rent just went up. My rent just went up like a couple $100 the other day because of things. Just because they were like, because of maintenance, which is like, I looked down, I'm like, you haven't fixed anything in here for years. You gave me a youth. What?
One prant or two?
One prant still. I was gonna negotiate. Can I have 2 prants on my balcony, please? And they were like, no.
One prant revolution, dude.
No. Yeah, no. I'll throw a brick. Fuck it. I'm Tom Morello of my apartment complex. I'll give a speech out on my balcony, like one of those like old Broadway, like West Side Story plays. All right, guys. Here's what we're gonna do, and then a bunch of Asian people just stare at me and then go back inside. But I was just thinking, like, man, like what do you like about this? And like, well, Gavin Newsom doesn't control your rent. They love doing that. It's just like, yeah, but he doesn't stand in the way of it either. Like he doesn't like put a moratorium or like at least like I am in rent control, but like it's funny because like they'll be like, oh, your rent can increase up to this amount every single year, and they take it every single year. And it's like, great, cool. So every single year, the percentage goes higher because the actual amount of dollars is higher. So the 5% or whatever it is ends up being more money every single year. And it's just like, okay, cool. So you really want to protect this. You really want to protect this thing that we have right now. The property tax, the estate taxes, all these things. If you inherit money from your family member, it's like you're supposed to pay a huge tax on it. All of these things, the gas tax, you want to protect that because for some reason you think if Gavin Newsom doesn't get carte blanche to do whatever he wants, that he's going to, that Hitler will take over, actual Hitler. And I'll be like, what's Hitler's stance on rent control?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Just
that French.
Did we ever find out?
Yeah.
Is it in Mein Kampf?
Yeah. Page 12.
Somebody let me know. Let me know. Yeah. Somebody let me
French
know.
Laundry. Need the French laundry to keep flowing. Dude. Those appetizers. That's cute.
Yeah. Did you see what he said the other day about Xi? I don't know why he's so obsessed with China. Maybe because there's a bunch of Asian people in California.
Where he's like, all I saw was like, where he's like, we cleaned it up because
here I got the clip right here.
That's true. Yeah, let's.
This is so funny. He does make me laugh. Not for reasons that it's not like a Chapo like epic Hunter Biden thing. Like it's not that. It makes me laugh. Like I'm just like, people buy this shit. People eat this up, or they just ignore it and pretend like the alternative's worse no matter what. So this is him. I guess San Francisco was welcoming Xi Jinping. So you got to clean up the streets for him.
Oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true because it's true. But it's also true for months and months and months prior to APEC, we've been having different conversations.
Excellent. I'm glad they've been having conversations. And I'm glad that my tax dollars go towards those conversations. I'm glad that my tax dollars keep conversations going.
I like the people in the background. They're like, this guy, they're in on the joke. They're like, yeah,
dude, fucking the Niners. The Niners are lucky they're good. I'll tell you that much because I saw their defensive tackle Eric Armstead post one of his game checks where he makes like a couple $100,000 a game. So this automatically, anybody who's like, well, you're rich. It's like 50% of every check, which to be honest, it's not that much different for me. It's only a slightly less for me. And
I literally don't understand taxes at all.
No,
because it's supposed to be progressive tax rate, but it seems like everyone's paying. Seems like that guy's paying 50% and we're paying like 30, 40. I don't understand what
my Saturdays are time and a half, no matter what, even if I don't work anything during the week. But what they do for taxes is whatever your rate is, they assume that's what you're making all year for that particular check is the time and a half. So they're like, oh, well, this is how much money you make.
Oh yeah, overtime's a scam.
It is, but it's like also in construction, that's how you make money, especially because it slows down in the winter. So it's like you can't even like squirrel away money. I try my best, but like you can't even squirrel away money for when the rainy season comes because the taxes are there to get you, because they're like, oh, you must make $9,000 an hour because you almost made this, you know, for 4 hours. Like, and it's such a fucking scam, dude. Like,
weird how that works.
Yeah, it's such a scam. It goes to absolutely nothing. It's all these fake outreach programs. It's always these outreach programs you hear about. Yeah. None of which I ever see in action, even though I work in the street every day. You think I would see some of these things in action? No, you don't. It's all just these like things that every other state has figured out, by the way. Every other state has these same things. It's not like this is just akin to California. It's all of these other, oh man, I don't know. I just I can't stand it. I every time I see this guy, I'm just like, but if you can clown him. Like I've even tried. My parents are very liberal, vote blue no matter who. If I bring up Gavin Newsom, they're like, yeah, I know he's just kind of, you know, this guy, but he doesn't have it. And then you're like, yeah, I wish we'd have somebody else. What?
You know,
and you're like, oh my god, like this will never. I'm so black-pilled on any of that stuff because like it's just that's why I can't get excited about elections right now. Like I just can't. I see there's Republican debate was the other night and Trump's not on the stage. I'm like, why would I watch this?
Yeah.
It's a woman talking about heels. It's the Republican National Convention and it's a woman talking about heels on there. She's doing Democrat talking points on there. Yeah. But then she says I'm pro-life. So then everyone's like sick. It's like, yeah, I'm sure she'd never ever fool you on anything. I'm sure she would. God. Nikki Haley, I think that's her name or something. I was like, this is a real person. Like I don't know. Like it's something else,
it's
man.
Fucking retarded.
I know.
It's pointless.
I know. I can't. It's like, and like I finally like I can't stay here. I can't. Like I just physically can't. Like I don't want to rent this fucking shoebox anymore.
Yeah,
you know, like none of this stuff, man. It's just
me too. Prant.
Yeah, they say all this stuff and like. There's like these druggies that hang out outside my apartment complex. They're like just people doing drugs and stuff. They don't live in the complex. Every single time they put out a memo to all the residents. Hey, this is a no drug place. Guys, don't do drugs. It's not us. It's the fucking tweakers outside. Like just stop selling me things. Like stop doing. Why don't you do something about it?
Yeah.
It's literally your property. I know for a fact it's not mine.
They just eat the send on the email. That's job well done.
If you were thinking about smoking crystal meth, don't do it. It's like, all right, I won't, because Lord knows your fucking stupid facilities here, your Polanski tenement systems that you have here are definitely making me want to. It probably would make my place look nicer. God, it's so crazy.
That's so funny.
You know, since we were talking about we talk about it quite a bit, but like IQ, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you and I aren't like, we're not IQ maximalists. Let's just say that much.
No,
one of us on this podcast has a high IQ. I choose to let mine fluctuate and never test it. So, and
you're in the sweet spot. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I would.
Whatever the good one is, you are. I'm the one that I'm not. Yeah, it sucks.
I don't know. I don't know.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix. With that red candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, can't do shit.
I feel like the people that I was associated with, I didn't like, you know, and I was like, I noticed all the people that with supposedly less IQ were way more fun and cooler and just, so I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to be. And then the thing about it, it's like a pecking order. Everyone's trying to out IQ each other, out Mensa each other. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen. And they're all vaxxed and boosted. Of course, we didn't know that at the time, but this is before all that happened. But it tracks. It tracks. You know what I mean? And the midwit thing is so on point. It's like the most. I do love the things. I'm not obsessed with the idea of IQ, but like the memes are hilarious, and
of course
they're absolutely accurate in a lot of ways. And I don't know. I just feel, ironically, it's like an autism thing that people that are obsessed with IQ are always just autistic, focused on one thing. And, life is just very, I'll just say that, it's just a very broad experience with a lot of factors to it.
Yeah, and I can't do the whole we implement IQ for your job. Like, okay, this job can only have this IQ. Trust me, I've worked with people that I think have quite a high IQ, and I'm like, this guy is fucking useless. Probably because he's overqualified for the job. He thinks he has no work ethic, which he'll probably blame on not having the right job. But it's like but then, hey, look, low IQ, not all it's cracked up to be, because Lord, there are, I don't like to, shit on them, but like I work with some people that I'm just like, dog, like it is just a miracle that you even make it to work, man. Like it's just like a miracle that like it must be like a John Wick movie for this person to operate like a regular day, like some of these people that I work with. So it's on both sides. But there was a big viral TikTok thing that was coming out that was out, it was a while ago. It was like this woman thinking she was like super high IQ or whatever, but in fact she wasn't. I could tell you by her description of what she is and her accolades that
job.
Yeah, so I'll play the clip. It's pretty funny. So but there's much to discuss after that.
I'm a high school graduate and I work in the Marine Corps.
I'm 30 years old. I have my PhD in cancer biology and I work in a biotech industry. Grad school, I went to University of South Carolina, and undergrad, I went to University of Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, me, I don't know. PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech.
So what she's doing is she's guessing who has the highest intelligence out of 6 people. She thinks she's second.
They're ranking each other.
Yeah, they're ranking each other like based off what she's already ranked herself as second because of her accolades. That's what she's doing. So just in case you're listening on audio, again, check us out on YouTube, subscribe if you can. Anyways.
Tech company, we make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that.
She makes COVID-19 testing kits at her company. So she's high IQ. That takes high IQ people to make COVID testing kits. That's very high IQ. It's very important, and we have the perfect woman for the job, and it's the Communist Wednesday Addams girl.
Then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler, he ranked last for me personally because the way he carries himself. He was ranking intelligence based on his point of view and not taking in other people's point of views.
So number 1 is Raymond. Number 2 would be Kaylee. Number 3 will be Tyler. And number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean, and number 6 is Maria.
So turns out she didn't have what she thought she had going on, which is funny because it's like I don't care about her IQ score. I don't hire her because it's just like, come on.
But she does.
Yeah, it's like, dude, first off, like that's the thing. We have so many people that are educated beyond their intellect in this world. Like, because look, I'm not I don't know that I'm not a free college guy. All free college means is just more people in college to me. And
more people like that. Yeah.
More people like that. And then like Starbucks becomes the fucking there's going to be elite overproduction or where, regular, service industry jobs are with people with bachelor's degrees who just hate the world. And that's why you're going to get terrible service for the rest of your life. Or there's going to be fake jobs created, which we already see right now, for these people to feel like they did something in the world.
Like a sandbox. Yeah, it's like a free little, yeah.
And it won't be these Joseph K. Kafka jobs either, like these little like like just whatever, like kind of like arbitrary jobs. It's going to be jobs that are like, we do like a vaccination census all around the town, and we go around asking people, and we just submit the data to pharmaceutical companies and stuff. Like it's going to be things like that are these fake jobs.
That's the funny thing about what she said is I have no doubt there's some extremely high IQ people that work at like Pfizer.
Easily.
But the ones that are high IQ that work at Pfizer, they're the ones that know it's a scam. They're the ones that are like, yo, can you believe people are buying this shit? We're just making, and they're the ones that are making the most money. Like people like her they're just fucking.
I still value ethics. I still value ethics and morals over all this stuff. Like
I like how she said when she was talking about the Tyler dude, she's like, I can tell you have low EQ, which means emotional quotients or whatever. But
I thought she was talking about bass heavy voice. I thought she was EQ was all little fruity loops.
Yeah. But the irony of that is she just displayed the lowest EQ out of everyone in the room by being like, I'm so fucking smart, you're a fucking dipshit. It's so
Isn't
funny.
It crazy? Some of these people have to wake up every single day and validate like all the dumb shit that they did, these little like motions that they went through. Every single day they need it validated, or else they have to go to like therapy. They probably still do. They need all of these things. Probably, I'm not projecting onto her. I'm just saying I know some people like this that are, whole bottle of wine a night, stressed out about a job that they swore they were born to do. Even if they didn't want to do it, they feel like they've went through enough hula hoops of fire in college to have this particular job that is unfulfilling and not good. And you never see the fruits of it actually pay off.
It's fake. Dude. That's the exactly.
But like these people need all these extra things. They need SSRI, they need therapy, they need binge eating, they need all of these things. And that then gives them the persecution complex, because it's like, and then that turns them into like Tom Morello anarchists.
I know a lot of those types. They create this like fake cortisol stress feedback loop where none of this stuff matters, but that gives their life meaning. It's you can't. Mm-hmm. It's not enough just to exist and be happy, be a fucking garbage man, be a fucking anything you want, and just make a good living or whatever. Obviously, we know that's getting harder and harder due to forces outside of our control. But you need these fake struggles, all these long hours, but meanwhile you're going to brunch every fucking weekend, you're doing all this stuff, it's all fake. And the thing is, there's always like 5 or 10% of those people that are smart and do work hard and do contribute a lot, but not the majority, for sure.
And you ever and so much of work is just like showing up on time and kind of just having like a feel for the day. Like, you ever notice those people that are really smart, but they need to be instructed every single part of the day? Kind of like, all right, now this is when we do this. Oh, okay. All right. But it's like, is this your first day? Or like, no, we've been working together for like 3 years, but they're smart. Like, they're smart. You could have like a smart people conversation with them or something, whatever that even means in 2023. But you can do that. And it's like, I think we've created, first off, like, that's why I think AI is so powerful right now, is because you can take somebody with a whatever number IQ that makes you feel happy for the job, and then just help them out with all these, automated processes and just and then that at the end of the day, you found I have high IQ, I'm diverse at my company, and I have good tech. But then you're like, I don't know, like what's it all for? What is it all for? Like that's what are we making here? What are we innovating? I'm tired of innovating.
That's the funny thing. That's the paradox of high IQ is, okay, great. You can get a good job and make 200, 300, 400K a year, but you're going to hate yourself, and you're going to probably have a family or something. And you're going to know deep down, again, there's people that love their lives at that level, but I mean, it's kind of ironic. The more you climb that ladder and you're still part of that system, and you can see it's bullshit. Because I do think the smarter you are, the more you realize that it's all bullshit. So you realize that a very large part of your life is fake, and it. It's fine. Like her life is fake and she doesn't know it, where she's just like, she believes that COVID-19 vaccine tests are even fucking real. Whereas like midwits like us are like, oh yeah, what cycle are you running your PCR levels at? Because that's literally is the whole fucking thing. and she'd be like, "Oh," you know. So it's just she'd do the Tim Allen like fucking question, you know.
Exactly.
So it's just you know. But like a Pfizer VP or whatever who is probably has like 140, 160 IQ, knows it's all bullshit, makes $2-3 million a year, but he sold his soul, you know, sold her soul, whatever. And it's that's hell. That's hell on earth that you put yourself.
You know, I don't know if you've ever seen have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
I watched it a long time ago, and then I need to rewatch it. I've seen
it's a masterpiece. I've watched it a couple times again in the I always liked it. I always thought it was really cool.
Right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it is the Kubrick movie in my opinion. And I'd like to do like a full talk about it because there is a moment in that movie. It's kind of like, you know, Kubrick was before he's known for like Shining, Eyes Wide Shut to our generation. He's known for that. But what he was really like known for his early films were kind of like war themed kind of like what ethics questions in war and you know, whatever. Like I could have phrased that better, I suppose, but I guess I'll get to it here. There's a part in 2001 where there's an AI, and it is the AI machine is just this ominous red dot named Hal. And it just like Hal has to get the mission done no matter what. Now the mission is a death mission. The mission is not great and it's not going well, but Hal also senses that there's weak links on the ship that have sensed that the mission is not going well. So Hal gets rid of those people. It's an unethical process. However, Hal only knows to get the mission done. So I think some of these high IQ people can kind of like condense their world down to, I am making the product and putting it into the world. I made X amount of product and put it out. They probably believe a little bit in the product too, right? Like they probably do, the people that are making it. But then might be some people that don't, but they're just like, well, if I don't make it, somebody's going to make it. And then they then, you know, push it out, and it's like I'm making the money off of it, and I can decide that my ethics don't necessarily matter. It's all about the objective, the mission, and it's head down and work. When all you could do is step back. And there's another Kubrick movie called Paths of Glory, which I just watched for the first time recently, which is a very similar process and involves like a completely fake, you know, what's that called? Court martial, like when the military people get, like very like just completely fake, like phony trial that doesn't go well, you know, and so like it's very, very similar. And it just, I tend to think that these people in a far more boring, less beautifully shot, dramatic thing, like, you know, this is much more in that cold Netflixy streaming tone. These people that, again, just barefoot wine all night, you know, DoorDash, weird black plastic tins all over the house, doorbell camera, farmer's dog stuff for their dog, and that then is how they unwind. They wake up in the morning stressed out because of how they unwound the night before. Many such cases. Trust me, there's a lot. I was talking about this with somebody, and it was like, how many people do you think wake up stressed out thinking that they need to unwind later that night? But the reason is because they unwound way too hard the night before, and they're stressed out in the morning. So I tend to think that these are and it's like, again, if that's high IQ, I'll take where I'm at. In fact, maybe shave off a couple points, you know, because like for me, I personally, look, I have some flaws and some logic. People point out wrong words that I say. Look, it's funny.
Dude,
I got a couple. I might misuse words. I might, you know, do this. I think I have quick wit. I think that's one thing I can cover it up with. But what I've been doing is reading every single day, drinking my Rishi, and I don't know that the IQ's gone up. I just know that I've maybe used my IQ. What I have, I think I've utilized it. I'm like the wide receiver that runs a 4.5 but gets in and out of his routes quicker than the guy with the 4.3 that can't turn. You know, I feel like that. I feel like that right now, where I'm just like, I'm not as fast, I'm not as smart as a lot of people, but like I have this insane work ethic, and I actually do feel a purpose in what we do. Is it a delusion? Sure, because we don't live off of it. It might be a little bit of a delusion, but it's a lot better than going to work and constantly trying to validate everything I did to get there when I know it's horseshit.
Well, you mentioned the Rishi too, and the one thing Man, I've been on an herb kick where it's you realize that you're literally upgraded to a different person. So whoever you was before, not to make it weird or anything, but it's just you're like more evolved and you are smarter and sharper and
Absolutely.
shit. You ever run dry where you like run out of the jar and you go like
I did recently.
10 to 14 days and you're like forgetting shit and you're like, holy shit, I need to do this the rest of my life. Not like
mad.
not
For
like
me,
I'm
it's like for me,
addicted or anything,
yeah. For me,
But
it's just it's when I start getting mad about
yeah.
things. Like not mad. I don't want to say Rishi makes you not mad at anything. Like
Mhm.
you do
Yeah,
get mad,
yeah.
but it's a quick, calculated mad that
And
almost is like
you
an extra.
feel it. You're
It's an
like, "Oh."
exorcism. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Mhm.
purge. You purge
Which
it
is
out and then you move on, which is how
healthy. That
yeah,
healthy. Yeah.
way more healthy than just like
Suppressing it.
suppressing it, lingering, whatever. I found myself just really getting mad and then mad that I'm mad and then, just all the and then guilty that I maybe
Yeah.
responded a wrong way to somebody and just kind of like, then all of a sudden, the shaman chat comes in and it's funny because I made my Rishi tea and like when I drank it, it tasted like shit and I was like, there it is.
Yep. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I almost loved the shit taste. It was Austin Powers. Like, it is shit, Austin.
It's a
Great.
very
Like,
unique. Yeah, because there are bitter herbs that do not taste. They're just bitter, like Tonkat Ali or like but they're good for you.
yeah.
But it's just like, whoa, like, you just got to capsule it. And I'm not trying to taste that flavor.
It's like dandelion greens. You ever eat dandelion greens?
Yeah, it's like,
Worst taste of all time. It takes an hour to chew it. Like it's like you get like one little like morsel of it, and you're like working off it for like the day. You're chewing on it like a farmer, like with a little hay straw. And but yeah, it's good, and you feel good and refreshed, especially if you're a meat eater. I think it's really good to balance that out. I may not be based, but balance it out with that nice dandelion green. You get everything out of that.
Yeah.
And but yeah,
like, it's funny you mentioned that about the flavor thing. About there it is. I've had that exact. That's so funny that we're
like sometimes it tastes too good, and I'm like, this shit ain't hitting. I bet, like you're like, this tastes.
It needs to be that little bit of that. Whoa,
Yeah, no, it's like I mean, there's a fizz face quality to Rishi,
Let's
like
go.
yeah. So so, anyways, that woman, high IQ, or she thought, whatever. She's got a job. She's gonna run to the barefoot bottle of wine. She looks like Communist Wednesday Addams. She'll probably re-binge Wednesday. She's probably mad that the new season's not out. Why doesn't anyone listen to this really mean girl? Kind of vibes to that. And I am I don't know if you saw that quote from Billie Eilish today. Did you see? It had the internet. It was funny because she's young and I don't know. I didn't realize how young she is. She's like early 20s. I thought she was older, but she was in some interview or something, and she just did this like boilerplate like feminist take that she probably saw on like an Instagram graphic or something. And so she says, Billie Eilish says men don't face criticism about their bodies because girls are nice. Quote, nobody ever says a thing about men's bodies. If you're muscular, cool. If you're not, cool. If you're rail thin, cool. If you have a dad bod, cool. If you're pudgy, love it. Everybody's happy with it. You know why? Because girls are nice. They don't give a fuck because we see people for who they are. I'm like, dude, women get obsessed with women critique other women's collarbones.
Dude, no, man.
They get crazy about like chins and like that's why they get like it's really easy when a woman decides that she's going to be based on the internet. It's really easy to get her into race science because it just feeds right into the girl brain.
Yeah, bone angles, everything.
Yeah, all types of stuff. And then but then they like never lose the feminist angle. So then they like try to rope guys in and get them into worshiping women again after men realize that was a bad idea. It's really funny how that works.
Yeah.
So.
That's a weird quote, man. I don't know. It's just I just want to see one of these pop stars break that fucking mold and just be like Anna or Dasha or just something like
wrong.
that.
It's literally wrong.
I know,
like,
dude.
It's like women go and not like I will say like I think what she means is that some women don't mind when like men put on a little bit of weight, like if you're with a guy, he puts on a little weight I get it. Like, cause men can put on like 10, 15 pounds. You can notice it, but it's not like detrimental like when a woman puts on like 10 to 15 pounds, right? It's just I get that. Like it's to me it is though. Like
we're proving her point.
So that part I get it. It's not because women are nice.
Yeah.
Women like men's weight. Like if you're a man and you gain some weight, like you're a bigger and more imposing presence, and then you get really fat, then it becomes a problem, right? Like then you become like a fat.
There's a buffer. Guy. There's a buffer.
Yeah. Right. You hit that like happy sweet spot, like of like I remember like one time I don't like struggle with my weight, but like if I don't have that like skinny guy thing where I can like eat whatever I want and like never put on weight no matter what. Like you know, some guys might feel like shit, horrible stomach problems, but at least they're like skinny and like Jared Leto looking and shit. I turn into Vince Vaughn very fast if I'm not like my highest was like 215, like, and this was years ago. Thank God I haven't been back there. But I didn't, and I was young. I was like her age, like Billie Eilish, and I was young and like I remember one time I went on Facebook and I got like tagged in a picture. I think it was at a rap concert, and I was like looking for myself, and I was like, I don't remember who that fat fucker was there.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh shit, that's me.
Damn, that's a way.
And I was like, it was just a tough. It was a tough picture. It was It was one of those ones where I'm like, I'm wearing a button shirt, and you can see the underneath the button shirt a little bit. I'm like, oh man, what happened?
I was just like, we gotta find that big.
It's out there. Yeah, it's out there. I mean, I'll wear it. It was like fucking 12 years ago. Probably I was 21, you know. And this is like I'm talking like Jack in the Box at like 1 a.m. Like just like night, like just shit like that, like just like Olympic scumbag eating, you know. And like Nick Avocado, you know, type shit. And so I get it, but like my wife, she did finally say, we were together at the time, she did finally say something, but it wasn't like you look bad. She was just like, I don't want you to like go like unhealthy and stuff like that. But then it was fucked up because then I lost the weight. I lost weight. Like I lost a little bit of weight and got back to like normal, but I was still probably like 190, right? Like that's not normal, but like I didn't look like Vince Vaughn at that point. So then I lost a bunch of but then when I started marathon training and I really lost weight, I got down to like 174. Yeah. And the problem is I have a huge head. So you kind of can't do that. I look like a lollipop, like a fucking thermometer. You know what I mean? Like it was terrible. And like I have a wide frame, so like 174 might seem like a lot to some people, but that's skinny for me. That's like really skinny. And but now I'm at like a 180. I think I'm at 185 right now, give or take. And like
that's good.
That's okay for me for right now. Like, you know, as a 6 footer, I think that's okay for me right now. But like I get it. I get what she's saying. Like my wife was never like, you know, she let me hit. Fuck, you know what I mean? Like it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? And like I look the other way around. I don't have that problem with my wife. She doesn't put on weight or anything like that. But like some guys do, and they still stay with their lady. I mean, come on, like they still stay with it. But it eats the women project the misery onto their men when
that's
that
the
happens.
thing. Where
like they're unhappy with themselves, so they go, "You think I'm disgusting?" Da 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 da, and like the husband's like, "No, I think you're annoying." But no,
it's exactly. It's like I'd rather I want the health and balance, not because of looks or anything, but because I want everyone's psyche to be like pumping, you know. And it's where it's like I'd love for you to change only for this reason, but you can never say that. They never understand it.
And oftentimes, like fat, I don't think fat and happy exists. I don't think that's a real thing. I think a lot of people because not so much that
happy is when you run 5 miles in the morning.
I know.
Before a bowl of oatmeal, and then you're like, dude, I'm fucked. My brain's flooded with these chemicals. You know,
there's that, but like I also think it's not so much the like I don't like the way I look, unhappy. It's like no, the path of just eating straight garbage and not exerting yourself. It makes you unhappy, like it does. Like so, and look,
it's during a cause and effect thing. It's a chicken and egg thing. You know, it's like a big. You gotta.
But during that marathon training, when I was at my lowest weight, like I was really depressed. Like I was probably at my worst. But that was just because I didn't have a project. We weren't doing our music stuff, and we didn't have this. It was that in between phase, and I realized that I just need my outlet. That was what I needed. But it's like with Billie Eilish, it's like it's just funny because most of the time when the biggest critics of women's bodies aren't men. Like they do. I get what they're saying. I'm sure she reads her comments sometimes and it's a man talking about her. I get it. But for the most part, women go hard. Like they and sometimes it's jealousy, sometimes it's just like fashion like model type critiques, like but it's like scathing. and and I think it hurts more. Like I think it hurts more when it's coming from women, like and it really like. So I'm just like, why do we have to point out something that I do believe constantly talking about people's looks is not the way to go. And I don't think you'll ever be happy if you are like a looks essentialist person, like about yourself. I don't think you'll ever be happy because you'll never look the way you want to. But let's not lie about who started that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's always been a thing. There's always been for the longest time, it's just been kind of a women thing where they've always been the biggest critics of each other.
Yeah,
physical appearance. Like men make their jokes.
Yeah,
but for the most part, it doesn't deter them from anything.
Nah, because we gain value from different things, and also guys get confused. I feel because we see the whole, especially if you're in like relationship where you see the whole nice to each other, but then behind the back, like, oh, that fucking and you're just like, whoa, where if a guy's doing that, he's a beta and no one respects him. Like, fuck this.
It's weird when guys get like super focused on it. Like it's I get that like there's like some people do it like ironically on the internet, kind of like as a joke, but like when somebody that's like really hyper focused on like women's features and stuff, you're just like, dude, what?
Yeah, come on, like, dude.
It's not. You could tell it's from a place of like lack of getting any kind of stuff. Like so it's I don't know. There's a regulation. There's kind of a regulation involved. He only can say that amongst a group of like-minded people, which they got their own issues, So it's I thought that was interesting. But I was laughing because that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. I was laughing because I can't remember where I heard it, but somebody was talking about getting an email because they work at kind of like the a libtard factory kind of job, just one of those whatever jobs where we have to update everyone on the current thing and how to talk about it amongst your employees. I don't work that kind of job, so it's always like hey, we found a Bud Ice crushed can in a truck, like, guys, you need to throw away your trash. Like it's always like the memo that it's always like a mass text with like spelling errors that comes like in the for ours. But this person was saying like updating them on like Gaza and stuff. And they're like, we want you to know that this company stands with Israel. This company is here. Like, we condemn Hamas. And it's like, what? I don't even know what job like this, like what job, what it has to do with anything or whatever.
Nothing.
And I was just thinking like, because, I work with a lot of Latino construction worker guys. And I was just thinking like, if my company did send out a memo about Israel versus Palestine, they go, Israel? Israel? He got attacked. Hamasito attack Israel.
Hamasito.
They bombed his house. Why? ¿Por qué?
Oh shit, dude.
They fight once, twice. Why Israel? I gotta call him, man.
It's like Israel.
It's like just a guy. Just a guy named Israel. Like I think I have 3 coworkers named Israel. And I was just thinking about that right now. I was just like, damn. If somebody said that like Israel got attacked, they'd be like, damn, that fool. Like that fool was acting kind of crazy, man. I was saying some crazy ass shit. But like one time I was about to square up with that fool too.
We've all been there, dude.
I love how that's 2 kinds of Mexicans that I work with.
Yeah.
There's one guy that says all crazy. He says all crazy a lot. Like it's always after like he sneaks in kind of like a fucked up thing. So he'd be like, yeah, we're at this house, man. Like we're at this house and like there's this girl next to me, and stuff. And we start talking shit to each other. And then I just like grab her titties and like pull her shirt down all crazy, like you did that in public. Yeah, all crazy,
So it's just crazy, man. It's all crazy.
I was just I'm all fucking crazy, You're like, yeah, no, you should go to jail. Yeah. You should serve life in prison. You're insane. Yeah. So, shout out Hamasito, man.
I wish I was there right now. Honestly.
Do you guys not have Port Latinos?
It's not the same. They're more like it's not as just part of the whole thing, It's and it's not when it, obviously when the critical mass reaches like 30-40% of the population, it just gets way funnier and more fun, because especially, because I grew up, going all the time to towns like Watsonville, California, and shit. It's like where the old dudes, the old Mexican dudes wear the cowboy hats and shit. It's so funny, dude. I love it.
That's why Tortilla Flat just hit so hard when you read that book. You're like, dude, yes, like just like
it's like you're like, yep, there it is. Yeah, it's so great.
Banger. You're just like, God, John got it. John saw it firsthand. He's not hearing this from somebody. Like he saw this in the artichoke fields of Salinas.
100%.
Yeah, he saw that. But no, it's just it's hilarious, and I'm thankful I work, in that field. It is very frustrating, and it's like there are people who I could tell like work an office job, and they're like, I wish I could like get my hands dirty and like work in the elements and stuff. I'm like, no, it sucks.
Yeah,
like it's not fun. Like it sucks. Your joints hurt. Like there's you might not understand why construction guys are all like alcoholics and stuff, or like smoke crystal meth, and it's like, no, you don't realize like you have to get up at like I have to get up at like 4 a.m. every single day.
Yeah,
and then like then you wired from the day you're wired from the day, and like half these guys they're on their own low IQ feedback loop of smoking meth all day and then drinking like a case of beer to go to sleep.
Yeah,
no
marathon training, no fucking.
And your employer turns the other way because they're like, damn, I can get like 3 weeks and then maybe one call off so he can sleep all day. Like I can get like 3 weeks of like 12-hour shifts out of this guy.
Yeah,
and like it does suck. So like it does. Like I know I think I kind of like glamorize it a little bit. Like I hate that shit. Like I absolutely can't stand it. And it's like there's people that like I always thought it was such a brag when people said they had imposter syndrome.
I
always like a humble brag when people say that, because I think I saw somebody Dan Baltic, who's a very talented writer. I saw him say this on Twitter, and he was just like, I've never had imposter syndrome. Like I'm literally the other way around. I'm like the smartest person alive, and like I should have way more money, or like what? I'm paraphrasing what he said, and I'm like the same way. I'm like the imposter syndrome is like, I have this amazing like $200K job, and sometimes I just don't feel like I belong. And it's like you get like free meals every day. It's like shut up. Like
oh my god.
Like I get that. Like I said, we just talked about maybe the problems with those jobs, but like I don't want to hear it.
Nah. Yeah.
Like
I want to be at that level and be asking for $2 million a year. Be like, where's the 10x, dude? Where's the fucking?
I know. I have imposter syndrome. It's like, it's just like insane. It's just like it's
a way for them to like justify and feel good about having things that people don't, which is pretty common, rather than just feeling grateful for it, which is which is the way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm.
Amacito, dude.
Get up, Israel. Palestino. But I know. I've been thinking about that for a long time too. I was just like, I would love for them to put a memo out about that, and just have my coworkers really think one of their guys got beat up or something.
That's so funny.
I forgot to promote to you guys. We got hats. I got my hat in.
How is it?
It's beautiful. It's great. It looks wonderful.
Yeah, let me see this shit. For those that don't know, this is
the rare
dare to resist drugs education or whatever. Yeah.
It's designed by Big Mac McCarthy. The hat designed by Psi. Put on the logo by Psi. It's at our store. The link is in the description. It's a very ghetto hyphenated Shopify link. We're not fans of Shopify, but that's how you get our stuff. It's in wherever you're listening or watching this. It is in the description. Really helps us out if you do that. Also, we just did a State of Fear episode, which I thought was wonderful, and seems to be going over the well. We have 22 volumes of Gain of Fiction, plus I think we have almost 60 Substack episodes. So if you were to sign up for the Substack feed, which I think is great, I think most people would agree that it's like better than this. I mean, this isn't shortchanging our free episodes. I think those are excellent, but there are people who waited a long time. They're like, no, I'm fine with one free episode a week. And then they're like, why didn't I do this sooner? But if you don't have, that money to throw around right now, which it's kind of crazy, because like I know money's tight right now, but also $5 is also useless. So it's like You know what I mean? Like it's like
Bold.
everything costs $5, so why not just give up? You'll get like 4 things for $5 a month, basically from us. So you know, if anything, pick the more efficient way to spend $5, and that's with us. But if you don't have that, go to Apple and Spotify and rate and review us, because that really helps. I've been hearing from people, more and more people coming in, just saying that they found us on the suggested things. One guy, I can't remember. One guy hit me up and he heard us. It was the craziest, like most random podcast that would have been suggesting us afterwards, like in the related podcast. And I cannot remember what it was. It was just something
crazy,
so random where I was like, that's crazy that popped up in there, because I thought we were pretty algo hated on for a while by the algo. But it does help if you leave a review. You can leave a star rating. The actual written reviews help too. And also YouTube channel, if you prefer to listen on the audio on the go, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's just, you'll find us on there, and subscribe there. That really helps us out. And got some really, really exciting stuff coming up. We're gonna do our Ultimate Prince episode probably at the beginning of the year. That'll be half free, half paywalled. So that's a 2-part episode for sure, because Prince just requires that much. We will also be doing a Miles Davis episode. I've been big into the Miles lately.
I'm excited for that one, dude. I can get a whole playlist for that. Dude.
I haven't listened. I haven't listened to Miles since the Beat days, of us like chopping up and doing all that stuff. And I was just going back, and even just the normie stuff, you know, like, because I used him for the Mickey Spillane episode of Gain of Fiction, and I was just like, what is it, blue to green? What's that? Green and blue. Gosh, just so beautiful. I
know you're reading a lot, but before that episode, you have to read his autobiography.
I'll do his audio. I'll do the audiobook of it.
Do the autobiography. It is the funniest.
Yeah, I think it's on Audible. I'll listen to it.
It's so
absolutely.
fucking funny, and it'll enhance that episode like 20x. I just want to talk to you about it. Like, honestly,
for sure.
Funny.
No, I will dive right in, because that's what's beautiful about Prince, is that you don't know anything about Prince. Like that's what's so sick about Prince, is that you can project whatever you feel from his music onto him, and like nobody will tell you you're wrong, you know, like like
Prince.
It's Prince. It's literally like he's literally just like AI of like of just, I don't know, it's amazing. So we have that coming up. Gain of Fiction, started reading this wonderful book. We're going to do a collaboration with Matthew Cini, the host of Getting Lit pod, which I've been on to discuss Harlan Ellison. He's finally making his long overdue Gain of Fiction debut, and that's going to be on Alfred Bester's The Demolished Man. God, I mean, Matt picked the perfect book for RC. Let me just say that much, because to set the book up, it was written in 1952. It's the first ever Hugo Award winner. Definitely, I don't know if PKD ever said he was inspired by this guy or not, but it has that like nasty dialogue quality of PKD, that anger in the dialogue that like PKD has, and kind of like a grittiness to it. But it's kind of like this metropolitan telekinesis ESP kind of like dystopian society, and it's like a very unreliable protagonist, if you will, if he's even a protagonist, anti-hero. Excellent. So far, I'm only about 60-70 pages in, but that'll be our next Gain of Fiction. And this weekend might have to do a Glen word. It might be time, if the weather's good. I might, if the weather's good. We're gonna need something for the premium feed this week. So if the weather's good, it's supposed to rain down here. I don't like doing it outside because of the audio. But if the weather's good, I think I might do a TGW chapter 13. So on that note, guys, everybody have a safe week, and we'll catch you guys next time. Oh, and shout out to Big Mac McCarthy. He did the interlude on the last episode. I'm going to use it again for as long as he's cool with it, me using it. Everybody kept saying it was a George Harrison style song. I believe it was a Bon Iver impression that he was doing with it, but it's our theme song. Very cool. Love it. Absolutely love it. And if you want to write fiction or write for the Substack, we won't, no guarantee that we accept it. Send it in rarecandyindustries@gmail.com. Just send whatever you got. Fiction, short stories, opinion pieces, movie review, whatever, anything that sounds good to you. I want it. I want this to be a cultural capsule of that, and I want to keep more written stuff going. And also, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, all right, guys, everyone have a good day.